everybody, NitPicker one here, complaining about issues great and small for your entertainment. And today, we're going to be nitpicking Balan Wonderworld for the PlayStation 4. Oh boy, this has been a long time coming. Ever since I nitpicked the demo, I've been very not looking forward to this day. And I don't want to rip on this game, I really don't. I'll get to it later. Let's just start with the game's history, and then we'll get into this in a minute.
The year is 2018. Yuji Naka hasn't been seen for years since he left Sega to go work on games, I can assure you. Then he vanished into thin air. Nobody has seen him in years, and here he is starting his own company with Square Enix called Balan Company. Which is funny, because it's almost like calling your company Corpse Company at that point. Anyway, Yuji was getting ready to make mobile games with Naruto Shima, and Yuji was like, "Hey, yo, you see that Mario Odyssey shit Nintendo be putting out? Yeah, I saw that shit. What about those Crash remakes?" And then it hit them. What if we actually stop making this mobile game shit and make an actual game? And Naruto was like, So they set their sights on a game titled Balan Wonderworld, which was revealed in an Xbox Showcase 2020, and it looked magnificent. The character designs, the settings, everything just looked fantastic. Some of the game and stuff was a little weird, but hey, it's a trailer for a game that's coming out in another year. It's fine. Also, side note, in that trailer, there was an announcer that sounded straight out of a Disney DVD trailer.
Look into your hearts to discover what's most precious.
But again, whatever. The game is releasing in spring 2021. It's all gonna be fine. I personally caught wind of this game when it was shown off in a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, and I had the same conclusion. The game looked interesting, and I really wanted to know what this game was all about. It had Yuji Naka and Naruto Shima. Naruto Shima, who designed that blue hedgehog, and Yuji Naka, who made that blue hedgehog. I was really curious what would happen if Naka got back into game development and had a true publisher on their side. And who better than Square Enix? Oh, well, you know, publishers aren't everything. What studio is developing the game? RZS? Well, what are they? Well, at least you know there's not much on the line. I mean, Square only gave Naka one chance to make a 3D platformer. Oh, okay, so things seem bad, but hey, there's a demo out, they are proud of what they have, and they want to prove to people that the game is going to be good and get more people to play it. It's a great idea, and I can't wait to see what they have.
Boy, howdy, I did not expect to be here. You have to understand, I went into this demo thinking everything was going to be fine and hunky-dory.
Oh. No, it's actually that bad.
Oh, that render does not look smooth.
Is my quality really that bad?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
it's pixely.
Oh, okay. Skybox popped in off the camera and put the camera right kind of on it. Do you see that? It stutters. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't...
Yeah, the game itself is doing it. Oh.
Because it's the PS4. It has Horizon Zero Dawn, Doom Eternal, God of War, Sonic Forces. Yeah, I went there. What you have here is a basic 3D platformer. Oh my god, the jump. Imagine controlling a rock and jumping with that. That's what this feels like. This game released in 2021? Delay the fucking game. Well, okay, we tried. Well, Yuji, how about you make a first-person shooter now?
After the demo, everyone's hopes went into a downward spiral right there. The gameplay was basic, the game looked like ass, everything from that reveal trailer was just gone. People were denying it and hoping that Square would take the feedback and finish the game and make it good, but then they put out a press release about a week before the game release and said, hey, you know these issues you had with the demo? Yeah, we can't fix them, good luck.
Wow, if only there was a way that you could, you know, give yourself more time and stable the game more.
Everyone who had a brain while playing the demo, including myself, said delay the game. I said in the title of my last video, I wanted the game to be decent, so I said delay it. But no, of course they didn't. They're fine delaying Final Fantasy VII for almost the PS4's life cycle, but nope, that Balan game, gotta get that shit out on Friday, even though they knew there were problems and they outright admitted it. I was praying, hoping, longing for the delay to come at the last second, but nope. They stuck to their guns and set out a day one patch, and with not a single announcement, they did not send out any review copies for mainstream review outlets, including Metacritic, causing Balan Wonderworld's Xbox Series X version on the website to have a picture of Dragon Quest XI on it, as if to say, fuck this shit, get a better game. But is there a sliver of hope that maybe just maybe they fixed the game in time, defied all odds, and made the game better than the demo.
Alright, let's find out. Let's nitpick Balan Wonderworld for the PlayStation 4.
Alright, to get serious with y'all, I don't want to hate this game. Quite the opposite. Seeing Naka and Naoto working together was such a cool thing, and I really thought that since that first trailer that it was going to be a cool game. I wasn't expecting the world from it, but I was just expecting a genuinely good 3D platformer. After all, Sonic had its aged rocky start. No matter how good the game's quality was, I thought the gameplay in Sonic 1 was lacking compared to Sonic 2 and 3's. Not that Sonic 1 was a bad game, but compared to Sonic 2 and 3, I mean, it's kind of obvious here. That's what I was expecting from Balan. Just a simple start, they play around with some stuff, throw some ideas around, and then if the game got a sequel, it would expand upon it. That's where my expectations laid with this title. Just a good 8 out of 10 platformer with tons of character, just like Sonic 1.
But I didn't get that. What I got was a basic 3D platformer that didn't know what it wanted to be, and what it knew it wanted to be was bad.
But let's just start with the game setting, because honestly, there's no story. There's a beginning and there's an end. Nothing really wrong with that, but that's just how it is. You have 2 characters you can pick from, Leo Craig and Emma Cole. Those both sound like first names. What?
Hey, NitPicker, the auditions for your new cast just came in. Disappointment, not now. Oh, no, don't worry. It'll only take a second. It's just a second of your time, NitPicker. Let's see. We have a Bob Dan. Hey, I'm Bob Dan. Always the cool and hip one, hipping up with the boys. Let's see, what's next? We have a Chris Robb. Hi, I'm Chris Robb. I'm the shy one. I'm so sorry for intruding on your time. Should I just go? I don't know if I should be here. You'll have to help him out a little bit. He's a bit shy. This one is Crow Oliver. I like him. He's my favorite.
I love that name.
Craig.
And Emma Cole? Emma sounds fine, I guess, but Cole? That sounds like someone who complains about everything.
What?
So I picked Emma Cole because I took a popular vote with my friends and they said to go with her, so I did. Both Leo and Emma have 2 sides of the story. Emma's story is that she lives in an orphanage and she feels ignored by everyone around her, with this girl even being scared of her, so she runs off. Okay, so Emma, I understand fully. Now Craig, on the other hand, what? So his story opens with him dancing out in the courtyard and people love him and are clapping, and yet he feels sad about it? I swear, I don't understand this. What does this mean? Dancing, having fun, people love him, and then he feels bad. What? Clearly I'm missing something, right? I swear, I don't understand this. You can say this is on me all you want, but if I can't understand what my main character's motivations are, how am I supposed to relate to him? You see, it's funny because after I wrote that in the script, I checked the Balan Wonderworld website and realized what his story was. Player Leo Craig, a 15-year-old boy who always acts cool. Several years ago, he had a big argument with his best friend and has preferred being alone ever since. Why didn't the game tell me that? There's no hint, none, that this is what the story was telling. No flashbacks, no subtle hinting, nothing. Without this character description, you would have no idea what Leo's story is because it doesn't tell you in the game anywhere. Well, I don't understand, so I'm just sticking with Emma's side because it makes the most sense and will probably have the best ending. So they run into this place called Balan Wonderworld, and inside they meet this fellow named Balan, and starts the show to help them rekindle their passions and heal their hearts. Now Leo and Emma must go to 12 different worlds and help put together the hearts of the people the zones represent. Okay, the premise is great. It makes sense. I bet the levels are brimmed with life, adding personality and love to each world and location. No. So let's start with that then, shall we? Not level design just yet, because I want to talk about game design and structure first. I just want to talk about these levels and worlds. This game is based around depression and facing it, right? Again, a good premise, but why are none of these worlds based on this story and its character? Let's take the first level, for example. The story is based around a farmer who spends weeks working hard on his garden, but a tornado rips it all up and ruins it. Okay, a good premise, a good motivation, but one little issue, this has nothing on the level design. It's just a generic farm theme with basic green grass and some farm equipment. So you're telling me you're gonna have this promising premise with wondrous level design possibilities, and you're just gonna do a basic farm theme? Why not have weather-based enemies or a tornado hazard? Why not have the stage set with this dark atmosphere? Instead of all that, you do nothing else with it. This game being based around depression has nothing to do with the game itself other than its story. There are no unique enemy types, no hazards, no nothing, just generic levels with basic enemies and costumes. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but in Sonic Forces, yes, you heard me, I'm about to compliment Sonic Forces, but don't get used to it. But in that game, Eggman has taken over the whole planet, so the level designs are based around locations in an apocalyptic setting, making it feel like the world is taken over by your harsh nemesis. And the characters refer to it in a really bad and painful degree sometimes.
There's sand everywhere. Green Hill's looking a lot more like Sand Hill right now.
But not only do the characters mention it, but there's also atmosphere and hazards based around the game's setting with its levels. As an example, in Sunset Highway with Sonic, you're running across the stage while in the background a fleet of Eggman's robots are demolishing a town, showing how fucked up things have gotten. Not only that, but in Versus Metal Sonic with Sonic and the Avatar, you're just running along trying to find Metal Sonic and BOOM! An Eggman robot shows up out of nowhere and you and the Avatar have to take it down in order to continue. That's an example of taking a dark setting and making it a part of the game design. But here, it doesn't matter. The only thing they really do is make the human you're trying to save show up in the game's levels, which sure makes sense, but it's creepy. Speaking of that, in one of the worlds, this happened. Yeah, they knew what they were doing there. But speaking of character, let's dial it back a little bit. Let's talk about something positive, because I want to talk about the thing that I actually love about this game, and that piqued my interest since the beginning. The character designs. Nato, I'm so sorry I misspelled your name earlier in the script and ran off with a bit, because my god, these character designs are great. I don't get why their hands are so big, but hey, that's okay. Balan, look at this dude. The top hat, the red and white, and the black all contrasting together to make it overall a really good looking dude. Everyone else are pretty much winners who fall in this game's perfect art style and design to make a pretty all-star cast. But now, the hard bit. Let's talk about the graphics, because god, no, this ain't it, Chief. The game looks basic. It's got nothing to it, and this isn't just non-loaded assets or anything. This is how it's meant to look. The only thing I can give is that it has color. The colors are so bright and vibrant, almost tricking this game to look better than it does. Look at this patch of dirt here in the grass. Yeah, I've seen graphics like these on the Nintendo 64. Not like the game is that taxing, because the world design is just floating islands. It's just lazy. This does not belong on PS4 and not even on the Switch. I'll tell you right now, if you're gonna get Balan Wonderworld, do not buy it on the Switch. I do not care. I played the demo and that was enough for me. The Switch version is horrible. Do not play that. If you're gonna buy the game, buy it on PS4 or the Xbox One or PC. And if you happen to be one of those lucky bastards that actually get a PS5 and Series X, get it on there. Do not buy this on the Switch. So let's talk controls. And to do that, I'm going to go to the pause menu first. Why? Well, let's take a look in the bottom right hand corner. Every button is confirmed in the menus. No decline button. Now you're probably wondering, what's the big deal? Well, let's hop out of the menu and try all the buttons. X, okay, jump, makes sense. Circle, jump, alright, that's fine, because the circle button is confirmed in Japan, so they want to universally get all the options. Okay, fine. Square, jump. Triangle, jump. Every single one of the face buttons does one single action. But surely they wouldn't just make the analog triggers jump. No. That must be a repeat of the shoulder buttons, which change your animal costumes. So I press R2 and jump? You've gotta be kidding me. As if we didn't have enough buttons to jump. That means every single button does the exact damn thing, meaning the game only has one action, which changes when you collect every animal costume, but we'll get to that in a minute. But do you know what this means? Let's go to the menu again. So every button is just a repeat of X, right? So the first issue is that when you're messing around in the settings and you decide you're done and you want to go back, you have to go all the way down to the bottom and press the exit button. You might think, well, that's not a big deal. Well, it is, because it's stupid. First off, the pacing gets slowed down because of this. That's the first strike. The second strike is that when you're done and want to exit, your instinct is to press the circle button to exit the menu and get back to the game. The third strike is the most nitpicky and worst of it all. So every single one of the face buttons is confirmed, right? And we've just made that clear. And as we established, the analog triggers also jump. Do you know where I'm going with this? The analog triggers are confirmed in the pause menus. But NitPicker, I hear you asking, why is this a problem, you might ask?
Oh man, I really got Taco Bell.
That's why. With a game, when those Taco Bell bathroom breaks come up, you don't want to worry about making sure your game is paused. You just want to get up and go. Having the analog triggers as confirmed buttons in the menu is stupid and going way too far with this only one action button setup. Speaking of which, while you're platforming, you run into these animal costumes that you can put on and give you a certain power. The problem is that since there is only one action button and some of the suits, you can't jump in a platformer. Look, Yuji, I know you mean well, and I understand it, but come on, I know you found your success with Sonic the Hedgehog, and the appeal was in part by having every button be jump. But you see, that worked because it was a 2D game, and it wasn't your typical platformer. Sonic was a fast-paced one, a run and jump if you will. But guess what happened when Sonic went into 3D? There were more buttons because it is a 3D game, therefore you need more options. Whereas in this game, one button just doesn't cut it, Naka. The controls in general just feel stiff, especially the jump, and that is not something you want to be saying about a 3D platformer. A good example of the stiff controls is the aviator costume, which is basically a homing attack, kind of like Sonic, except there's a delay in the attack, meaning it's very easy to not nail it, causing you to fall to your death. Speaking of costumes though, at least more of them are pretty cool. Again, except when you can't jump. In World 6, there was this one costume that couldn't allow me to jump. So this costume's gimmick is that it can freeze certain objects and hazards. Okay, cool, but I couldn't jump. So I had to use these floating platforms to get up to the top. The problem is it becoming really frustrating and tedious to time the platforms right and get on them repeat. And they want you to do it this way because they put the costume right before the platform, signaling you to do it this way. Now I know this is just a me thing, but this is where I blew up gasket. I died and needed to do the platform bit again, but I said no. You know what? No, I didn't recollect any costumes. That way, I could just jump with my main character. And guess what happened? I completed the stage way faster and easier than with this stupid mechanic that they wanted me to use. I don't know how this game did it, but they turned a power-up into a crutch. How do you do that? It's a power-up. It's supposed to strengthen you, not limit you. Again, this wouldn't be so frustrating if I felt like I was being balanced and had tons of freedom that I didn't need a jump button. But no, remember, this game is only controlled with one action button, meaning I feel more limited rather than in a new costume that enhances some of my abilities. No, they take your one ability and replace it with something you don't want. Speaking of costumes, by the way, you need to get a key to unlock them, which is usually almost right next to it or not far off, which just made it completely pointless and annoying. Level design-wise, other than my gripes with not taking advantage of the setting the game takes place in, it's fine, I guess. But these enemies can get so repetitive and they don't even look cool. They look like Kingdom Hearts enemies almost exactly. And again, I have to stress, why aren't the enemies modeled around the theme and depression of the level? Why aren't the World 3's enemies bugs or something? Or in World 2, why aren't they innocent sea creatures? I'm sorry, but I'm not understanding all this. Why can't these enemies actually be interesting? Combat feels sloppy. With some costumes, you can just shoot them, which is fine, but when you gotta jump, go good grief. And most of the time, I'm not kidding when I'm saying this, about 98% of the time, I could just walk by them with no problem or consequences. Alright, one last thing about the gameplay, and that's the collectibles. The game is a collect-a-thon, and not a good one. You see, in most collect-a-thon, collectibles are A, integrated with the plot, so it feels like you're collecting them for a reason. B, they are very generous to start out with and give you plenty so that collecting them feels fun and rewarding. The game does neither of these things. This game, multiple times I would play a stage and find nothing. Whenever I played the levels and then discovered I had about 10 more statues to find, it didn't feel like determination, it made me anguish. Even in the later stage where I tried to find as many as I could, and believe me, I looked back and forth, and when I finished the 3 stages, I still needed 10 statues, and therefore I had a 1-hour session just trying to find them, and it made the game feel way more boring than it already was, and believe me, it was. Along with finding Balan statues just wherever on a stage, you can find these hats leading you to a flying session? Oh boy, like knights? As if this game is directly taking inspiration from? Really? Oh my god, finally we're gonna get some knights gameplay! And it's just a quick time event minigame where you match up PNGs with what's happening on screen and making it really, really boring. Oh, alright. But you have to get excellent across the board in order to grab yourself a Balan statue. And when I failed one of those, it would disappear. Also, wait, what does that say? Balan bout? Balan's about to what? Should I start getting concerned? Does he know where I live? Is he gonna sneak into my room one night and bash my head open with a sledgehammer? Drill my head in with a drill dozer? Put his hat on me and suffocate me? Kidnap me and take me to a show place? I'm getting scared. Performance issues. Oh. Boy, where do I begin? The game runs in 60 FPS, and it's smooth about like, I don't know, 50% of the time, or maybe even more, and there was just so many I didn't notice, especially when you get to World 12, where this game's frame rate just starts chugging, and I know they knew about this because they added way more motion blur to make it appear smoother, but you can't fool me. There's probably some other instances of that happening, and I probably didn't even notice. Where I did notice is that every single time enemies, and I do mean every time enemies spawn, this game stutters while trying to load in enemies. I ran into a few bugs as well. And back in the World 6 stage where I didn't have a single costume and I found the key here, and in order to get one, but I can't seem to find one anywhere. Later, I just happened to go to the beginning of the level and, oh, would you look at that? There it is, just all of a sudden. Alright, let's backpedal. I want to remind you all right here. I have to make this clear, since this is the first time reviewing a game everybody else is ripping on, mainly on social media, but I'm not ripping on it just because everybody else is. I'm ripping on it because I was disappointed. I wanted this game to be good because I respect the work of both Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima. These guys made possibly my favorite video game character of all time. Hell, my favorite video games of all time, period. But the point is, I respect these two guys and I wanted them to succeed. Make a return to the video game industry. But no. And yes, before you say anything, I know Yuji Naka made bad games. I understand that. But what I mean is that I had faith in him. I know he has it in him to make a good platformer. That's why it hurts so goddamn much to rip on this game. But before he can do that, he has to understand why Sonic worked. Why he succeeded with Sonic and build off of it. I'm not saying make a Sonic-like clone. Believe me, we don't need a mighty Sonic number 8 or whatever. I want him to do something unique and make it work, but he has to understand that having one action in a game does not cut it in the 21st century. Make games that are fun and simple, not just simple. Hey, you know, what am I talking about? It's not like there's a game on inferior hardware released about 4 years ago. It's better than Balan in almost every single way, testing your platforming and collect-a-thon skills to the max while making a simple design anyone could just pick up and play. Nah, that'd be silly.
Here we go, off the rails, but you know it's time to raise our sails. It's freedom like you never knew.
Super Mario Odyssey, a game made exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, and not only looking way better and more competent, makes up for everything Balan doesn't have. A 3D platforming collect-a-thon that finds that thin line between too easy and too hard to feel like you as the player are being rewarded and always shown something new. The collectibles are hidden in places that aren't too shown, but not too hidden, making you find those toughest power moves, making you go, damn, how did I not see that? Or the most creative power moves that make you feel like you just found buried treasure. Super Mario Odyssey has it all. Super Mario Odyssey just has jumps and an attack, but there's so much more you can learn and master. The core design is simple, but can be mastered and extended. Balan Wonderworld has no extension. It's just one thing from beginning to end, and it never improves or challenges you in different ways. All it is a just fine platformer at best, shitty dated platformer at worst. And now, let's talk about the final chapter. So first off, right off the bat, this game disappoints me because I collected all the needed Balan statues and then get on the train and it shows me this cool looking night aesthetic to pump me up for the final boss. And I know they put effort into this because the flowers in the background are glowing and it looks awesome. But then immediately after you get off the train, it just turns off. Why? Why would you turn that off? It looked cool. Ugh. We're getting ready to fight Lance, who is our enemy. We must put a stop to. He's the one that has been trying to stop us on our journey of self-fulfillment and helping others. The one who has crutched our attempts of bettering ourselves, but awakening the darkness within ourselves. Who will conquer this foe? Who will rise up against the tyrant? Who will be the victor? Checkmate. So we pick 3 costumes and face off against Lance, and I swear it sounds like he's busting a nut and pulling an F-bomb while doing it. So you defeat Lance, and Lance becomes an ultimate form, and the friends we helped all join together to help us face him. And by the way, fun fact, I'm sure you heard about this, but if you didn't download the day 1 patch, this final boss has a seizure effect. How did this get past testing? Look, the last thing I want out of a shitty game is to be killed by a shitty game. Imagine having that on your tombstone. Cause of death, Balan Wonderworld.
Man, I don't know what's worse, the death or the fact that they played Balan Wonderworld.
There are 4 eyes, and we have to use the costumes provided to us to damage them, and the 4th one is automatic for some reason. I'm guessing because the last costumes kind of suck as an offensive attack, so they probably did this on purpose. But hey, this is the finale. This is working. I'm actually pretty excited to see the ending for this game. Again, I like the setting and story of this game, so maybe at least to live around what I like most about this game. So we defeat Lance and he turns good. You can tell because he's white now, and some shadows capture him and send him away for some reason. Is this sequel bait? Because if it is, that's just adorable, Yuji Naka. But anyway, we do a final dance with Balan, then say our goodbyes, and
And you're telling me they removed the Caesars from this game?
then our heroes head home and are given their happy endings. Leo Craig, now that I know what his motives are, has branched out and given other people a chance. Now for my ending, the Emma Cole ending. She goes back to the orphanage and tries to open up to everyone. Wait, hold on, no, wait, what? Hold it. What's Emma's character description again? A 15-year-old girl who has a smile for everyone. She is worried that people are nice to her face but talk ill of her as soon as her back is turned. Why didn't the game tell me that? Look at her in the beginning. There is no sign that she's been here before. Look at the way she creeps open the door. It's like she's shy and just now starting to live at the orphanage and therefore trying to adapt. And people are neglecting her. That's what it looked like. But apparently, she's been here quite a while and is scared that people are talking about her behind her back. Again, no evidence showed this. It looked like there was going to be a story about an orphan girl trying to get along with everyone. But no, the whole motivation for this entire storyline is one big misunderstanding. Oh, screw you, Naka. Now, I'm not against the storyline, but when it points me in an entirely wrong direction because none of the characters speak, nor is there any subtitles or anything, I had to assume that she was new to the orphanage and just being neglected. What else was I supposed to think? God, this game is garbage. Everything about it is garbage. The story, unclear and garbage. The gameplay, empty and garbage. The game was more of a waste than I thought it was gonna be. I had faith and there would be something in this game, anything. But now I'm just left with nothing. There's nothing here. Screw this stupid game.
Naka, if you want to make a 3D platformer again, go ahead. But this is unacceptable. You can't have one action button in the 21st century. You can't have graphics like the PS2 and GameCube. This is unacceptable. And you had everything going for you. You had Square Enix, you had fans, you had Naoto Oshima, and you messed this up. You have to realize no one's gonna pay $60 for this. This is garbage. Don't do this again. Naoto, you don't go anywhere, man. You are great. Your character designs are fantastic. But Naka, you have got to get a grip. If you want to get back in the video game industry, you have to realize why this doesn't work. You have to realize what worked about your past projects. You have to figure out what makes a good game. And then figure out what you want to make. And then you got to figure out what makes it good. This doesn't make it good. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. If you like this video, please just share it around. And just share this video around if you liked it. And don't get this game. Don't. I know I got it. I know. But don't buy this game. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't care if it has Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima behind it, because that's how it got me. I know that Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima are behind this. I know it. But it's a bad game. So don't buy it. Don't support this. Don't support it. I'm sad that I did, honestly. And will I refund this game? I don't know. I don't know if I'll refund this game. I probably won't. I'll probably keep it. I don't know. We'll see. But I know one thing. I regret supporting this. But I don't regret putting this out to you. So you don't get this. So you don't waste your money. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video if you liked it. And that's it. That's it. That's the end of the video.
Ugh, finally. That video's done. It took so long to make. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so that video is finally done. Thank you all so much for staying to the very end. Like I said earlier, please like that button. Let me know if you made it to the end. Comment and tell me if you made it to the end. I also want to give a big shout out to Nick on Twitter for making the thumbnail art. I'm sorry, but you should be seeing speed paint on screen right now, unless complications of sending it. I will send a link to the speed paint in the description if you guys if it's not on screen right now, and I have a link to it, so I'll send it in the description if you really want to see a speed paint of it. I think she did a really good job, so I think that she deserves it. So go do that. Go support her. Like go do that. Go do that. Another story I want to bring up is apparently Balan Wonderworld actually ripped off a Ghostbusters tune. I found this out from Nintendo Life like immediately after I finished the video, and I was like, ah, no, now I can't put it in the review. So I put it in the end card for you. I thought I mentioned that because it's funny. Go look at the Nintendo Life article. I'll also link that in the description if you want to see it. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure to hit that like button. I've said that I think 3 times. I am so sorry. This is my first time doing this whole end card shtick. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like, make sure to hit that like button. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.